Well, bullying is a major problem for families, especially when it comes to the schoolyard. But for TV mum Kate Gosselin and her brood of 8 children, any problem with violence and bad behaviour can quickly multiply.
Yeah, now 2 of the sextuplets have been expelled from their private school in the US for picking on other 6-year-olds. They're now being homeschooled. On the show Kate Plus 8, we get an insight into how the kids interact with each other when they go shopping for school shoes.
We went upstairs to find Maddie and Kara's shoes. Little kids, step aside, please.
Can't wear any of those. I wouldn't do any of those. I'm not doing any of those.
This is going to become an issue.
It's big. Can I put my foot in it? No. Is it an humongous shoe? Is there another big rock?
No, there's only one.
Let go! Let go! Let go!
It got a little loud. We made one lady who was trying to try on shoes mad just by us being there. She scowled at us, I recall. I guess she's from the children shall be seen and not heard era. She hasn't met the Goslings.
It's a bit hard, though, when you're one of 8 kids sort of fighting for survival, aren't you? What do you do when it's your child who is the bully? We're joined from Melbourne by child psychologist and parenting expert Sally-Anne McCormack. Hi, Sally-Anne.
Hi.
How or why do kids become bullies in the first place?
Well, sometimes it can be because they've actually been bullied themselves. There may be some other condition that's going on or a developmental delay. They may not realise that they're bullying. Another thing too is extreme parenting. If we're too permissive with our children or too strict, sometimes that can cause them to be bullies in the classroom.
Yeah, now most parents wouldn't believe their kids are capable of bullying. What should you keep in mind if there are signs?
Well, I think first of all is listen to the adults, listen to the teachers that are telling you that or other parents. Listen to the children as well if your children are telling you that. Don't be defensive. There's something going on with your child. You need to actually intervene or do something. So look for changes in behaviour.
Yeah, if you suspect your child is picking on others, how do you approach the subject with them?
Well, first of all, don't say, are you bullying? We need to make sure that we engage with our child. Just say, you know, what's happening at school at the moment? How are things going? Ask them how they're feeling, what's happening, and then hopefully we'll find out a little bit more about what's going on. They may feel that they're being bullied themselves.
OK, so once you break the ice on that, what steps do you take to stop it?
Well, I think first of all is communicate with the teacher. Go up and speak to anyone in the school who can give you some information. We also need to model our own appropriate behaviours. How do we respond to stress? We also need to get our children involved in various group activities that have positive interactions and are well supervised as well, so they have good modelling there too.
Yeah, and how do you communicate to your child that bullying is in fact wrong?
Well, first of all, use any opportunity you can. I always talk about incidental learning. So sit around the dining room table and have conversations. Talk about their feelings and other people's feelings. Ask them how they'd feel. Use things like television or books or magazines or anything that they might be looking at and use that as an opening conversation piece. I have 2 fish in my office that fight, and so I use them as a segue into bullying.
Oh, OK. Sally-Anne, physical bullying is one thing, but if you suspect your child is involved in cyberbullying, and that is the big thing nowadays, should that be treated any differently? Because for this, there's such a scary space for parents. We don't kind of understand what happens out there.
And that's a good point, Larry. We actually do need to find out more about what's happening out there. The demographics of cyberbullying is often a little bit different, so it might be more females than males, which is, you know, more of the physical bullying, perhaps. We need to be in touch. We need to know what our kids are doing online. Educate them. Schools have a role here too, but so do we parents. Educate them. Find out what they're doing online. Explain to them that sarcasm doesn't work on the internet in writing. We need to be quite clear on our expectations and the rules for the house and school in terms of using the internet.
Yeah, it's a minefield for parents. Thank you so much for your timely advice, Sally-Anne. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You know, when my fish fight, I just put a little bowl of wasabi and a bottle of soy sauce next to that stops them straight away.